Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode is about Joyce Banda, the former president of Malawi. Yeah, son, this is what we do. Matter of fact, look, we're late. We're behind a bit. This is Saturday. We just finished doing the show, and it was like, yo, I ain't even do the joint for the week. We missed last week. A lot of stuff just been happening, man. Rest in peace to Chuck Norris. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to a lot of people out there. Everything's been crazy, right? It's just, you know what I mean? It's been a wild, weird ride. You know what I mean? Salute the Tank and Tyrese. I think I say it on this segment, so I'm not gonna get back into and say it any more than that. But yo, definitely salute to them brothers. They did their thing on the Verzuz. I've been watching Game of Thrones again. And I'm on the season where the king died, where your boy Joffrey dies. I'm on that season, and I'm really realizing this was a really well written show up until the end. I guess living it, I kind of didn't, but to actually sit back and really peep the pacing and the introduction to new characters and how everything bobs and weaves together, how everything somehow leads to, from these people way over here, still the actions that they take or don't take, the wins, the losses affect people way over here, and you're like, people way over here have a hand in a lot of that. It's like, yo, I get it now. I understand what the problem and what the issues are when it comes to that last season of Game of Thrones. But what people seem to always, I guess maybe we do talk about it, but we don't talk about it enough. The book wasn't finished. I guess HBO was like, yo, we need to wrap this up. They got new obligations. And that's what happened. You saw a run through. These dudes just zipped through it and gave us what they thought people wanted. And it's like, this ain't it. And a lot of the interactions, I do remember that. A lot of the interactions didn't sit well with me. But yeah, Game of Thrones is a lot better than I remember. And it's crazy. So salute to Game of Thrones on that. The Pitt. I did kind of touch on that for a hot minute. The Pitt is just phenomenal. I'm sorry. The Pitt is just a whole different beast. This is a whole different. This show is a whole different thing, and it's beautiful. It's beautifully written. There's moments. It's the realism, and it's because the things that happen on it, the doctors don't get a chance to truly emotionally commit. So it's like, that was over. Catch my breath. You know what I'm saying? Wipe the tears from my eyes. Next. And you do it. There's no super crazy, sad, let's cry together music. It's like, oh, this is really life, man. This is like to watch people lose their lives right there in your face on any given day, any given situation. And because this is your job, you gotta just walk that off, shake that off, and go to the next joint. You're a different human being. There is a piece of you that I know rests all the time. And there's some point where I think people get to the point where they're like, yo, I can't give anymore. And it's wild just watching this show, realizing two things. This is dope. This is real as it gets. And Paramount owns this now. All of this is not going to be like this on season 3. It's going to be weird. Paramount owns this now. They might even bring adults into the cut. But yeah, it's wild, B. It's wild. Watching these shows is just, it makes me wonder what's going to happen with Paramount coming in to take over. Paramount is wild, son. Paramount wasn't even a top 5, was it? It wasn't a top 5 streamer. Obviously, Netflix is one. For me, Netflix is 1. HBO Max was 2. Amazon was 3. Disney was 4. I gave it to Peacock at 5. Paramount didn't make my top 5. And I don't have Apple, so I didn't even, I'm not even counting that. I can't count Apple. To imagine that these dudes have just bought up real estate to be number 2. Instantly. And something tells me they're going to mess it up. They're going to mess it up. The other people, the Discovery people, they messed it up. The Discovery people had Warner Brothers and they still were trying to weave their stuff in. It was like, son, you have gold. You bought gold and you're still trying to give us copper. Like, and then you want some of this. It's not gold, but it's like dirty gold. No, that's not. Stop playing, B. That's what pennies are made up, or used to be made up. This is gold. This is gold. You got copper. No, stop trying to sell us that. Stop trying to give us this vibe where Discovery's content is just as enriching as WB's content. It's not. Don't do that. Don't do that. And that's what Paramount's going to do. Paramount is going to say our content is just as good as their stuff. And it's not. I'm sorry. There's not enough Yellowstone in the world that's going to compete with anything off of HBO alone. Yellowstone ain't competing with The Sopranos, The Wire, The Corner. You know what I'm saying? The Penguin. Yeah, it's Sex in the City. Nope. Euphoria. Nope. We can keep going. By the way, you know, keep going. It's not competing. Succession, Rome, True Blood. Nah, it's not competing with that. There's not one thing that Yellowstone has that's going to compete with any of that. You know what I'm saying? Any of Game of Thrones and Game of Thrones spinoffs. Nope. Tales of the Crypt, which they don't even have. I don't know why they don't own that, but Tales of the Crypt. The Watchmen series. Nothing. So why are we out here playing this game? Because word has it, HBO Max is going to fold into Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus is going to have Showtime and HBO. You know how wild that is? Crazy. And it still doesn't even sound good. Like, saying it doesn't even sound good. But whatever, man. Whatever. Everything's streaming. Everything's about to start popping. I think Daredevil's cracking. The Boys is about to start popping up. We're in that mix now. It's time for that get down. You know what I'm saying? Spring is just... This is going to be a wild year for movies, by the way. Movies this year is very nostalgic. Everything is very very nostalgic. You got Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, another Mario Brothers movie. What else we got? We got a Marvel movie, 2 Marvel movies actually. We got the Doom joint, the Avengers Doomsday, and we got the Spider-Man joint. Again, nostalgic. We got Doom 3, nostalgic. Yeah, that's nostalgic. He-Man is coming around. He-Man, nostalgic. You know what I'm saying? We're in a weird space for a certain group of people of a certain age. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be for them. This is their get down. They're about to be like, yo, going to the movies will be fun. And then there's the other little stuff here and there. You know what I mean? That'll help you out. Movies that are trash will be also thrown in the mix. There's 2 movies that are literally the same movie, right? They Will Kill You and Ready or Not 2. Which is wild because I saw both of those movie trailers during the same sit down for the movie. So the Ready or Not joint came, and then a couple other movies popped off, and then the They Will Kill You came up, and you're like, this is clearly the same one, just with black people. Who did that? How did we come away with having the same movie rock off? And I think they even are dropping it around the same time. I'm not trying to see neither one of them. How did we do that? Hollywood is wild. Odyssey, by the way, is coming. Again, nostalgia. Had to read that kind of stuff back in the day. We are in a weird space. And then that's where the hatred comes in, because you have Sinners. When it came to the Oscars, didn't win the stuff that you thought they were going to win. Salute for winning the Best Actor award, no doubt. But yeah, they didn't really take home any joints like we were thinking they would. And even now, there's still people willing to tell you, oh, Sinners overrated, son. I don't think Sinners is going to be a classic. How not? How not? Inception is a classic. Sinners is on the level of Inception. You know what I'm saying? Original script, original. This is just a different thing. I think what happens is, and as I say this, I'm saying this completely from the perspective of as time goes on. There is a subconscious disdain for non-white material. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, or whatever that movie was. That's a good movie. That's a great movie. You know what I'm saying? That is a great movie. People are like, I don't think it'll be a classic because no, it's a good movie. It's the kind of movie. Parasite. Oh, I don't think that's gonna be. No, Parasite is a great movie. There are great movies out here where it doesn't need white people, or white people don't need to be the main focus. And it always brings me back to Boomerang. Back in I guess 92, and Eddie Murphy was like, yo, people thought this was like some alternate universe, this whimsical fantasy. And for me, Boomerang was a companion piece to It's a Different World, because you were showing me, here are these college students at this historically black college, and this is the kind of world that they could interact in. This is the kind of world where they will interact in, where there's black businesses, black shipping, black delivery companies, black product makers, black assembly lines, black scientists, black marketing campaign people, black dollars, black investment in black faces. Yeah, son, I think this is it. This is a companion piece. This is a world that when you're from where I'm from, we don't see that all the time. And when we do see it, we see it from people who look down on us. So we don't feel like we won't be accepted, is the way that comes off. And to see people of all walks of life at Hillman, it's like, yo, we can be that. We have a chance to be that. I love it. We're not allowed to love it. We're not allowed to see it. And then you see this, because Sinners there's to this day, there's this thing with Sinners where people are like, I just don't like the fact that it hates on white people. There's like 4 white people in the whole movie. One's a vampire. One's a racist dude who allowed them to buy the building knowing that he was going to mess people up the next day. The other 2 that's a couple, and they're part of the Klan. Where does the good guy come in and all that? Well, I'm just saying the bad person doesn't have to be white. It kind of does, because it's not about so much white people as much as it is about culture being swallowed, being taken, being erased, being manipulated, being moved around. And by the way, the vampire is a victim also. So, you know what I mean? Where does that go? So now there's really only 3 bad guys. The racists, the other racists, and the wife of the racists, who too might be racist. Where do we go from there? Well, why I gotta be like that? That's the time frame. I hate when people act like they don't remember what the time frame was. That was the time frame. That was what we did. That's how things went. You know what I mean? Like post Reconstruction, and I think we've kind of talked about this with the Jesse Jackson thing. You got to realize there still is they could take this away from us at any point. Andrew Jackson could have taken all that away at any point. You know what I'm saying? We are still, even as today, As we see with, again, the way that people look at something like Sinners, and we don't want this person here, and we're taking people with credentials, knowledge of a job, history, time, a resume, tenure away from a job because we're like, we don't want DEI hires. And then we're just throwing random people in the spot with no experience. There's nothing on these people's resume that even suggests that they should be placed in the spot. So favoritism is cool. Diversity, inclusion, and equity, that's the problem. That's my man's in them. He a loyalist. Let's throw him in that spot. And then they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do. That was better than what we had because that person didn't look like us. So when you talk about sinners, that's what we're talking about. Somebody could just come and take everything away and wipe your legacy away. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that. And that's not really how it is. No, that's how it is. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always been in America. America is a wild, crazy place. It's a wild, crazy place that forever, for as much as you have that group of white people trying to tell you to get over the past, they're always somehow trying to bring that past back. They're always looking to make that thing come back. We're trying to bring all of this back. They're looking to take born citizens and take their legitimacy of citizenship away because they don't look the part. How does that work? Who's the real American then? And that's when everybody gets all crazy and they don't know what to say because they know what they want to say. They just don't want to get caught saying it. And that's the problem. Then you get Erica Kirk going, no, say it. Be proud to be a white man. Don't nobody care about that. What we're saying is when you go real Americans, who do you mean? And that's when they get crazy. And that's when she's like, no, be proud to say it. But they know they can't say it because that means nothing. That means nothing. That means nothing when you're Irish, of Irish descent. That means nothing when you're of Italian descent. Swedish, French, Turkey. You don't understand, in the 1920s, the 1930s, all of them were the same, were treated the way we treat the Spanish people. They were treated that way. They were considered the low end, the dirties, the nasties, heathens, sinners, criminals, rapists. That was them. They were that. You know what I'm saying? In the 1920s and 30s, by the 60s and 70s, when you needed whiteness, you were like, well, you know, they look like us. That's different. And a lot of their grandparents and parents didn't fool for it. Inclusion is a hell of a thing. You tell these people that they're now part of the process. They're now part of the bigger picture. They're now one of us. You're on the team now. That 20-something-year-old is going to forget all that and turn to his father and his grandfather and go, that was the past, Dad. That was the past, Granddad. It's not going to be like that anymore. But every once in a while, they'll come across somebody who's their dad and their granddad won't let them forget. They're not one of us. So they get treated a certain way. Then they're mad and they're upset. Then what they do is go, well, we still have that, but we'll just click up together and roll over here. Every once in a while, somebody switches sides. I like Shorty. Shorty likes this dude. That dude likes this dude. Who knows? They mingle. They integrate. Then all of a sudden, the lineage gets murky. Now you're part Irish. Now you're part Italian. Now you're 1/4. Now you're 1/6. You say you got some in you, you just don't know. You seen old photos and be like, yo, look at that. My people look like they was all for the street, like they was on the scene of The Godfather. Word, okay, boom, boom, bip. And you start to just go, I'm white. But you weren't part of that process at first. You weren't welcomed with open arms at first. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for them to assimilate and get down and act like it's all forgiven and keep it pushing. We can't do that. And again, when people ask what's the big reason between why is the black and white divide so massive in America, that's why. Because we're not the Italians and the Irish and the French and the Turkey and the Swedish and all of them people who wanted to be accepted and wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, welcomed in with open arms. We're not the Native Americans who accepted what happened to them and was like, well, we'll play the game and we'll get what we can when we can. We're not the Mexicans who had their land bombed, war torn, and then was bought pennies on a dollar, dirt cheap, and then was told you no longer are here. You know what I'm saying? Native Americans were forced from the East Coast to go out west. We understood our value, and all we, as black people in America, as those of former slaves, ever asked for was equality. 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 Could you imagine somebody willing to destroy your home, your school, kill you, kill your neighbors because you're asking to be respected as a human? You're asking to be given the same opportunities as the next person. Could you imagine that? And then people go, well, no, that ain't how it was. No, that's really how it was. That's why we continuously are the bad guys in somebody's mind. You know what I mean? How dare we have the audacity to ask to be respected and looked at as equals? Which, by the way, if you really stop and think about it, as I grew up, I would always say, yo, son, we're God body and we're the original man and we're the most superior, boom, 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 bip, bip. And you stop and go, And as the racist people would tell you, you're not. They overlook the fact we have to be. You brought a lot of Africans over from certain places purposely to grow rice, to help with the tobacco, to know how to curate the ground and the dirt for such plants. You know what I'm saying? These uncivilized people who you quick to go, they lived in huts and they did this and did this, build houses. Even if it's something like, well, we gave them the blueprint, they caught on that fast and built houses. The White House was built by slaves. We built houses from the blueprints and everything that you gave us. Boom. That's why I don't want you to read. That's why I don't want you to know something, because if you do, you'll tap into that locked thing that makes you even more superior. And I remember hearing that as a kid, and I didn't get it again until you get older and you really read these history books and you see something like Frederick Douglass and you go, yo, this is wild. Somebody who was taught as a young child how to read, and then that person was told to no longer do that. Frederick Douglass then would find newspapers and books and scraps of anything that had words and would teach himself how to read, would then learn how to write, and is one of the most eloquent voices we have. Not as just the black people, we're talking about in America. This man self-taught himself how to sound and be, not just sound, be highly educated. We're a different breed. We're a different group of people. And that sometimes is where the hiccup hits. That's where and that's why y'all gotta be the enemy. We move at a different pace. Once you allow us to be part of the process, we come in and we become champions. They ain't want black people boxing for years. Jack Johnson comes in and knocks everybody out. Everybody and they daddy out. You know what I'm saying? They ain't want us partaking in the races and the tournaments, all of a sudden, the Jesse Owens starts coming on. They ain't want shorties to go out here and do tennis. Gibson just kills the game. You see what I'm saying? We learn, we adapt, and we take over. I'm not saying take over in a negative way. I'm saying we prosper. Benjamin Banneker gave us, he gave you DC, the Washington Monument. He gave you all that. This is what we're talking about. The hate for sinners is that. Because this dude just did something miraculous that a generation of white people don't know and don't care to know, because they looked at the movie, were like, this is a great movie. Oh my God, this is cool. I like what I saw, and kept it pushing. Older white people saw it for what it was in their minds and were upset about it. How dare he? You put it in that time frame, that's what life is. Our past looks like our present. Our future will never look like whatever it is that Martin Luther King said he was dreaming about. You know what I mean? It'll never get, because every time we get close to that, somebody's granddaddy and their granddaddy's vision that was passed down to them from their fathers and their fathers' fathers and their fathers' 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 fathers comes full circle. You know how crazy it is to see like little 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-olds that are racist? In 2026, post-COVID, you're like, how is that even possible? And then you realize that people are fighting Hollywood shows and movies. They're too woke. Always want diversity. That's the world. Depending on where you live, that's the world. You know? But it is what it is, man. I'm getting too deep. My bad for that. It happens, man. It's been one of those weeks where you're watching the world burn around you, and you see people who can stop it, and they just choose not to. You know what I'm saying? The transatlantic thing, and these people chose to go, nah. We're not gonna say, we're not agreeing to that. We refuse. Argentina, Israel, and America was like, nah, that ain't our thing, son. You know what I'm saying? We're having a weird war that nobody can tell you about. You know what I'm saying? Then here's the wild part. We're at war, but we're not at war. It depends on when you talk to Trump or what clip you're hearing from Trump, or whoever's in their ear is telling them, never mind, we're going to keep it going. Remember, he was like, we having talks. And Iran was like, no, nobody's having these conversations. What are they talking about? Even then, there's so much going on. But now, Ellison owns a good portion of what you see and hear. Meta, who has been to court multiple times for misinformation, controls what you see and hear. Fox News is Fox News. Again, CNN is not a thing. BBC is not showing things. PBS and NPR are struggling to hold on, so you're not going to get what you want to get. MSNBC is so anti the right that you go, oh, they're giving you propaganda news too, which they are. Some of it's true, but it's not, like we're in a weird space. Money shifts everything. Everything. Power shifts everything. And when people start controlling the narrative and the perspective of everything, it just becomes difficult to see through it. And then you gotta find it. Then you gotta hunt it down. And then you wanna be the voice. Then when you start being the voice, you realize a lot of these people on social media who are the voice, black, white, male, female, Asian, Hispanic, Native American, foreign, pages get deleted. Pages get blocked. People get kicked off. All of a sudden, people are telling you the stuff that you said isn't real news, but then when you look it up, it's real news. That's where we are right now. We're having a war with information. We're having an information crisis right now. And the problem is the people who hate so hard that they're willing to believe anything. There's a white military broad named Jessica who's having the greatest life of lives. She gets to hang out with Trump and all the world leaders. She gets to do this. She's drinking Starbucks in the middle of nowhere in the Hummer Jeep, and she's just kicking in, and she's thicker than thick. She got her OnlyFans page. She all over, you know what I mean? But she's not real. Not real. Millions of followers. Her joints get thousands of likes. People are commenting on how good she looks and how she's a great American. Not real. Not real. And the problem isn't that she's not real. The problem is people found out, shrug their shoulders. There are people who are out here selling merch to MAGA, getting paid off of MAGA, and don't care. It's money. And then we'll joke about it. They bought all my stuff. They cornballs, blah, 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 blah. They don't care. Because in their minds, it's bigger than that. Also, by the way, they don't care because they're winning. Turning Point is a bigger deal than it has ever been. You know what I'm saying? Ever been. Turning Point was founded over 10 years ago. Turning Point started out in 2012. Obama was still president when Turning Point started out. Turning Point has been bigger in the last year than it's ever been. Ever been. Charlie Kirk died. His wife took over this mission. This administration is doing what they're doing on their end. And it's bigger than it's ever been. 2012. It's 2026. And it's been the biggest it's ever been since last year. Last year, with the death of a man, it's become so much more than what it had ever been. That's our country, son. That's our country loves to hate. I keep telling people that's our thing. When you go, what's an American? What's America's culture? Hatred. Hatred. Anyway, my bad. I probably went on for too long, and none of this is cool. I feel bad for having. But it's like I said, it's been a lot of stuff just going through my mind while I've been watching and reading and watching, and then I'd have to do TV shows and stuff to just get away from all that. And it hits the soul different. You know what I mean? Like this. Your soul ain't supposed to be able to contain, just to take all this, like, and just be okay with all this, like, yeah, and then I'll walk outside, ta-da. Nah, son, you can't, we ain't supposed to be built like that. Joyce Banda. And this is what we do, man. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for getting down. Check out Legal Crime Radio. Google it. I'm on there Wednesday nights. I'm on there Saturday evenings around 6 p.m. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. And the history moment that you guys hear comes from those shows. So yeah, man, enjoy. A lot of people I know for a fact, I've talked to some people, they like, I don't really listen to hip hop and R&B and stuff like that. I just like this stuff. I get you. I understand it's all good. But for those who do, yeah, come through, check it out. Rock on, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna get back and just put this joint together and have fun. Please keep your eyes and ears open for what is really going on, because a lot of stuff is going. And when you see something and hear something, just Google it. And it's crazy because even Googling that stuff is now being compromised. I don't know, where do you go? Bing is compromised. Where do you go now? Information is now being sensitized and fed to us on a need to know basis. This is the world we're living in. This ain't got nothing to do with this is past AI's capabilities. This is the government. This is the people in charge. This is the people with the money. Yeah, man. It's a wild get down, man. It's wild out here. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done for real. We done for real. I'ma holler at y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking. Let's get into it. Yes. And we're back. Okay. Look. Woo-wee. Before I even get started, look, for those of y'all who know me, anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. And Rakim, if you know me, and y'all have heard me say it a million times, Rakim is my GOAT. But this was not a dope verse. I don't know. Nah, he said it's hard as Rodzilla. Nah. I don't even know what's worse, that Rodzilla vibe or Dub C. He said with my East Coast sisters. I'm like, son. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure he probably broke it down to him like, nah, son, what we seeing is, and they were like, okay, word. But you do know, outside of LA, ain't nobody understanding what you just called us all brides, B. Alright. Where we at? Yo, salute before we even go any further than that. Salute the Tank and Tyrese. This heads for me. I don't want to hear nobody. I hate that thing when you tell people like your opinion. Everybody be like, well, for me, like, dude, I don't care. You probably don't care what I'm saying, but I definitely don't care about your opinion. I hate that. You know what I'm saying? You get in your thing and be like, yeah, my top 10 whatevers, and do like. Slick, and I always bring that up. Slick Rick, I'm not Slick Rick. Snoop Dogg was on one of those dudes talk shows, one of the Jimmys, and he said his favorite MCs are Ice Cube. I think he said Ice-T or Too Short, and Slick Rick. One thing's for sure, Slick Rick is the one that got the least cheers. And you read in the comments, oh man, I can't believe. First of all, they were saying stuff like, I can't believe he ain't say Eminem. I can't believe he didn't say. And again, I don't understand if people understand this. The average person's top anything starts off from their what's the way, how do you say it? I can't from childhood. You know what I'm saying? Formative years. You know what I'm saying? Your favorite cartoons, your favorite foods. You grow up. Now you adapt your taste, but you go, yo, one of my all-time favorite moments. It's something you can say that because it connects you to your, you know what I mean? And when you hear dudes who go, I can't believe they didn't say Drake. First of all, these dudes who are like 50 and 60 and they be like, yeah, son, Drake's like my favorite rapper of all time. Y'all need to be smacked. Like, not even like regular smacked. Like, go out here to a museum, grab one of the knights, you know, the knights in armor, grab the armor glove, the joint with the spikes on it, come back and smack the bejesus out of these dudes. Make sure when you smack them, teeth fly. You're 50-something, 40-something, 50-something, 60-something. I don't want to hear you try to tell me Drake is your top 10. That don't make sense. Like, I don't know when you started listening to hip-hop, but there's no way you're going to try to tell me Drake is your top 10. Kendrick is not in my top 10. And Kendrick got bars. Drake got bars, too. J. Cole. Black Thought. Pharoah Monch. I can keep going. Like, yo, it's nah. I'm not, we can't do that. But anyway, that's just me. What was I talking about? The verses. Let's bring it back. The verses is dope, son. Like, salute to Tyrese and Tank, because they brought R&B to the live instrumentation to the game. Cause y'all don't know if y'all know, a lot of them joints, it was just like they let the music play and then you stop the music. Nah. The band rocked. Now, I saw some of it. You know what I mean? And what I saw was beautiful. It was beautiful camaraderie, the brotherly banter, the vibe was dope. To me, this is top 10 Verzuz. You know what I mean? Again, to me, it's this, Too Short and E40, that's 2. Red and Meth, Ghost and Ray, D Block, well, the Locks, and Dipset, that's that 5. KRS, Big Daddy, that's 6. Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, that's 7. Jeezy and Gucci Mane for not all the right positive reasons, but it will be an impact in your brain forever. You know what I mean? X and Snoop. What is that, 8? We had 8 right now? We have 8? I'm thinking. Let me keep going. Let me think about it a little longer. Then if I can't, then we go. Oh, I guess Omarion and Mario, just like Gucci and Jeezy, for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons, son. Remember that? Omarion was on something total, like, I don't know what he was thinking. He was just like, he ain't bring his A game with his vocals. Now bring me back. Primo and the RZA is in my top 10, and I think that needs to be ran back. They need to do that over. But that's my top 10. Matter of fact, whatever the Verzuz make, they need to take 20% out and distribute that equally to Teddy Riley and Babyface, Beanie Man, and Bounty Killer. Because what those 4 individuals try to do with their Verzuz, that's where we are right now. Right? I don't know if y'all remember, remember what Babyface and Teddy Riley was trying to do the first Verzuz, and Teddy Riley had the dancers, he was going to perform. Remember what we used to say? Remember what we were saying? Stop the beat for a minute. We was like, dog, why he doing too much? Come on, they got dancers and stuff. He gonna perform? Oh, this dude out of his mind. Fast forward, we can't even watch it any other way. Bring the beat back. Mike Will made it, and Hit Boy, right? They did their joint, and they looked. I'm trying to be respectful. They looked goofy. They were playing the songs that they produced, and they was hype man in the joint, and it was like, I paid to watch you two producers play y'all songs on stage with y'all entourage. Nah, B, never again. We don't do that. But, yeah, man, gotta pay them brothers. Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, I think, were the first ones to do it where they were together in the same room. Then that became the staple, right? The performance, the performative joint, and then all of a sudden it was like, yo, now we gonna be on stage. Yo, matter of fact, I'm gonna take the Primo and RZA down, and I'm gonna put up D'Angelo. I forgot about that. Oh my God, that D'Angelo get down. Woo! Ooh-wee. Ooh, rest in peace to D'Angelo. Rest in peace to D'Angelo. Rest in peace to Guru. You know what I mean? Yeah, B. That was that was beautiful. That was beautiful. But salute to them two brothers for giving us R&B. And we need R&B back, by the way. I don't know if y'all understand. We need R&B back. The problem is we have like three issues. One, a lot of the good R&B doesn't get on the radio anymore. Two, a lot of the good R&B, they don't look like me. I ain't gonna say us, because everybody listening might not be black. Me. There's a lot of dope R&B out there, where there's not black people. There's Spanish people, Asian, Blasian. That's what Anderson .Paak is, Blasian. You know what I'm saying? White, foreign, not just regular white, foreign whites. They be out here killing the game. You know what I mean? They don't look like us. Me. And 3 is just the fact that the radio, the R&B that gets played on the radio lacks soul. It lacks blues. It has a lot of rhythm, if you want to call it rhythm, but there's no blues. There's no soul. You know what I mean? And it lacks it. So yeah, man, salute to them dudes. And speaking of trash R&B, have y'all heard the Jack Harlow joint? Like, really listen to it? That's my point. Like that is what I'm talking about. Bring the beat back. And when you look at the people behind that joint, like, he had some great people behind the project. And here's my take. I think there's better versions of every record on that album. When you see the people behind the scenes on that joint, you're like, nah, son, this shouldn't have came out like this. I get it. You can't sing, but the music is not popping. This is white boy, white girl, coffee shop stuff. That's, you know what I mean? You ever, like, when people go, oh, so-and-so, she has such a soulful sound, her music is so soulful, and you go check it out, and it's like, oh, this is coffee shop music, son. This is the stuff you listen to while you read books and sip on your mochiata. This ain't banging. This ain't cracking like that. Who told you that? Nah. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And his joint ain't cracking like that. It's not even And I don't know if y'all saw the joint where he was on somebody's show and they was playing the joints. They were like, yo, these are the staples in the black community for the culture, and he ain't know nothing. My issue isn't the fact that he didn't know nothing. My issue is the fact that how you're a hip-hop artist, majority, one would think, of your surroundings and audience are black. You can't tell me that you have never heard of these songs as a hip-hop artist. You know what I mean? That's my, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's a trash joint. And it shouldn't have to be trash. It shouldn't be. Like I said, there has to be better versions to every song on that album. What else is going on? It's just, it's wild, son. It's wild. We out here. I don't even know what to do. Cause I mean, I don't know. I feel like here's the thing. My girl said, and then I had a couple of other people who were telling me, like, yo, you be going hard on stuff when you talk trash about stuff. And I'm like, is it really? Cause first of all, I'm just talking trash. Ain't none of it serious. Second of all, I don't think I'm saying something that people aren't thinking. So then that kind of bugs with you, like, should I not say stuff? Man, whatever, man. Whatever. I watched an episode of the Pitt. And the episode I saw, see, here's the thing. I'm figuring up until these last couple of episodes, everybody was like, yeah, the Pitt. I seen not the last two newest episodes. I think the episode I saw had ice on it, was the last episode I saw. And I'm like, that's why everybody stopped talking. It got real quick. Alright, word, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? Salute to the politicians. Trump is taking credit for paying the TSA people. You know what I'm saying? So travels should be back to normal. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. Did y'all hear that US was like, yo, the US, Israel, and Argentina were like, on this whole reparations and even acknowledging that the transatlantic slave trade was evil. They was like, nah, we're not gonna vote on that. We're good. That was back in the day. Are y'all still worried about it? And it's crazy because I can't speak for Argentina. I can't speak for Israel. I can tell you in America, even as we see who gets placed in positions in Trump's administration, the game ain't changed. You know what I mean? And I'm trying not to pull the soapbox out, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The game ain't changed. Y'all better be aware, the game ain't changed. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. It is what it is. This is how we do. And also, I want to apologize to dirty white women. Had a friend that told me, man, you gotta apologize about that. You can't be out here talking about dirty white women. I'm thinking to myself, dirty white women don't even care. You know what I mean? Salute to dirty white women. You know what I'm saying? Now, fat white women, y'all too. Them. Fat white women are like, woof. To the black community. Well, not even the black, to the men. A black man will knock a sister down for a fat white woman. And the bigger and sloppier, woo-wee. Woo. They will spot a fat white woman from miles away. They be at the light. 4 blocks up is a Walmart. They done already queued in. They like, I think I seen a fat white woman get out the car. We got to go to the Walmart, dog. They just following her. She's like, why you following me? Yo, salute the brother. Because it's weird, right? And especially because I'm in Cincinnati. Bring the beat back. And that's a wild joint. So it's like, remember, it was a show called The Shield. The Shield. And there was I think it was season 1 or season 2, where there was this thing where there was 2 brothers fighting over this fat white woman. And at the end of the day, one of the brothers killed the other one for this fat white woman. And it was like, because then when they did the pan around, it was like some bangers in the neighborhood. Like, yo, son, over there is cracking. Over here is cracking. Her neighbor is cracking. What are you doing? Man, it's a fat white woman. I'm sorry, dog. It's a gang of fat white women. They just, fat white women. I don't even understand it. I don't get it. And like I said, it's not even like the kind where you're like, okay, her body put together, but she just overweight. Nah, nope, nah. Jabba the Hutt, sloppy. You know what I mean? Always got like smudges on their face. They got that weird smell, that fat people smell. Yeah, them. The ones that be pulling sandwiches from up under their rolls. Hey, I brought some lunch. You like, ugh. Yes. To the people who told me don't talk about dirty white people, I found the alternative. Anyway, y'all know what time it is. Let's do it like this. Take it from the, hold on, no, we did that wrong. Take it from the top. We're going to take it from the top. Bring it back. This moment in black history. We're going to go to Malawi, out there in Africa. And we're going to talk about Joyce Banda, the president. She was the 4th president of Malawi. And she served from 2012 to 2014. You know what I'm saying? And this was after the death of Bingu wa Matharaka. Look, I needed to. And when you try to do the pronounce thing, they don't do it right, and I feel bad. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? She served as the vice president, and then was like, yo, boom, as the part of the People's Party. She was the first female in her country, but the second head of state after Elizabeth II, and the second in Africa after Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And we talked about her a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Liberia. Yeah, man. So this is what we do. This is why we get down. This is how we get down. She was appointed in 2004 as the Minister of Gender, Child Welfare, and Community Service by the President. Motherfucker. I'm sorry. That can't be how you say that, son. Mutharika. Mutharika. That sounds like Motherika. Boy, look, I'm gonna start using that when I cut somebody out. I can't believe you Motherikas. Mutharika. I don't care. They were like, what? I don't even know if he cussed me out. What is that? Then it's gonna be some African gonna be like, oh, that is the former president of my country. I'm like, my bad. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do. This is how we get down. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she became the president. She was named in Forbes in 2014 as the 40th most powerful woman in the world and the most powerful woman in Africa. You know what I'm saying? This is what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? She entered politics in 1990 and, you know what I'm saying, and won a parliamentary seat on Malau's third democratic election as a member of the president of Bakil Mulazui's party of the United Democratic Front. She represented Zomba Musala, and you know what I'm saying, and did that thing. This is what I'm talking about. Yo, we here, B. We here. She's still alive, by the way. You know what I'm saying, in her 70s. You know what I'm saying? So, salute. This is what we do. This is how we get down. My bad. I was out here talking crazy, and I know I was. But we gonna get back into this music. Salute to dirty white women. Salute to dirty white dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure somebody like dirty white dudes got it easy, son. Like, all you gotta do, my bad. All you gotta do is most likely have a cool car from like a few decades ago, or a motorcycle, the right tattoos in the right place, at least some of your teeth. White women gonna flock. You ever see like some cool white women that you think are like professional, and then you see their man, and their man look like an extra off of Sons of Anarchy, and you're like, how did that happen? Yeah, sophisticated white women, they be having, like, you know how brothers be thinking, not even brothers, just men get into their second childhood, and they have that thing where they're like, ooh, you know how they go, like, men get older, but the girlfriends don't, Leonardo DiCaprio type stuff. Yeah, sophisticated white women go through that too. They go through two. It's either or. Either they end up being with bad boys, or they go with black guys. That's either. It's A or B. Sometimes they hit the holy grail when they can get one and the same. Yeah, Tyrone just got out of jail. Ooh. Hey, boy, somebody gonna be mad. I don't care. I bet you who ain't mad. Tyrone. Especially if that sophisticated white woman fat. She got her own house, 2 cars, 3 refrigerators. Dog. She got a gym membership for no reason. She got 4-5. What's the joint? Peloticos? The machine. Got the big old screen in front of the big old window that overlooks the sea. She be watching them. She be watching them eating chips. Step. I hear you. Girl, you ain't doing it. I'm good. I'm doing it in spirit. Tyrone. Anyway, let's get back into this music and do what we do. Let's get down, Bobby Brown. Bobby. Brown. Yeah. Ooh, y'all hear this, y'all see this, y'all get this, y'all feel this. I'm on my ooh 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 ah. I'm on my ooh 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 ah. I'm on my ooh 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 ooh. I skipped up on the beat. I'm like D without. First of all, hold on, woo. Stop the beat. We can't even be saying I'm out here. I got the D. Nah, son. Pause. Woo. You can't say nothing now, man. Like, wow, son. Like, you can't say nothing, man. Yeah, don't make me come over there. What? Like, come on, man. I ain't even gonna lie. This is the era where your mama, bring the beat back while I'm talking. Your mama would hate you right now. Your mamas, cause you remember that? Mamas and pops. Boy, woo. Yeah. Don't make me come over there and I'm gonna come over there on your butt. Like, grandma. You can't say that. Huh? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let you do me like that. Who put all that in your mouth? I'm gonna come and I got something for your mouth. Mama, you can't say that. You know what I mean? Had the peoples called on your peoples. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hey, word is on the streets, thanks to school, that you be putting stuff in your kid's mouth. Huh? What you talking about? Food. What you mean? Well, you know, somebody heard you say something, yeah, you gonna come over there and put something in his mouth. And then everybody like, oh, so I just figured it was, sexual. They played the pause game and y'all came over here tripping. Okay. Hey, no more pause game. The peoples is coming to my house. Y'all, How y'all ain't in the loop about this? Y'all around children all the time. Y'all don't know about the pause game? Y'all don't know about the all game? No. Man, I mean, we're just double checking because you never know, Okay. I'ma never know on your butt. Oh, so that's how you say it. Okay, we get it. Look, they ain't saying it because they caught on. They said it because, you know what I'm saying? She done picked up the bat, the broom. She got a butcher knife in her hand. Don't put baby in the corner. We gonna talk about it. My bad, it's 8:04. I gotta get ready to go. 8:04, whose area code is that? Richmond. Salute to Richmond, Virginia. Word up. And we can get ready to get up out of here like this. 1 for the money, 2 for the shizzo. I'ma let y'all know that it's time for me to gizzo. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace. And I guess I'll let y'all know Wednesday how it go down. Peace out. Remember, we say that. Peace out, son. Peace to the Middle East. That's relevant again.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.